Well, hello, it's Gloria Douglas, licensed real estate agent in Las Vegas, Nevada, coming to you to tell you or to give you an update about Client C and her journey. So, Client C, the last time we spoke, um, had gotten her offer accepted on her home. And with that, she was waiting to go through the other processes. So, that included having to go through credit access, which is getting all of your documents that you need to have ready for the bank in order to be able to do bank application. So that means that you're updating your bank statement, pay stubs. If you don't pay your rent, where they can see that it's coming out of your bank account, then you have to do an updated letter for that or updated documentation for that. Then you go through bank application. So once that's submitted, it will generate a bank application for you. Once that form is generated, then you sign the bank application and then your packet gets sent off to the underwriter for approval. Now, one thing about doing credit access, once you're under contract and it's time to go to credit access, they can call you and have you come down to the office the same day, if not the next day. You don't always have notice. So if you think you're going to have a week's notice, couple days notice for your job, that's not necessarily the case. Also, with bank application, when that bank application is generated, again, you may not have but just a couple hours notice. You may have to go down, get off work, make arrangements for someone else to pick up the children so that you can get down to the office, your local office, in order to complete your bank application. Another thing is after the bank application, you're going through that process. What happened with Client C was she had a couple of different addresses that I'm not even sure who this person was. It wasn't the processor. I'm not sure if she was the NACA underwriter or if she was the bank's underwriter. I think she was the NACA underwriter, but I'm not clear. But she wasn't satisfied with the letter of explanation that the client gave as to why she had this particular address on her file. So she moved from one address because she planned on buying a house previously. That did not work out. So she moved in with a friend for a few months and then decided, okay, well, since I'm going to wait longer, since this house isn't working out, then I'm going to go ahead and go back to my old place, different unit, but back to my old place where I rented before. That was not satisfactory to the underwriter. She had to write 4, maybe 5 different letters to the underwriter stating this is what the situation was. She had to do it different ways, saying the same exact thing because you don't talk to the underwriter. So if they're not clear with what they're asking you for, how are you supposed to know what you're supposed to be describing if I'm not having a clear understanding as to what you actually are wanting from me? So she's given an explanation. It's not clear for the underwriter. It's not clear what the underwriter is actually wanting. And so because of that, that held up the file. Now, did she get it done? Yes, she did, eventually. But what did it take? Us going down, sitting in the NACA office, talking to her loan counselor saying, something has to be done. We don't know what, but we need you to do something. We need you to intervene because they are not getting, they meaning the closing coordinator assistant and the, I'm assuming, underwriter for NACA, not understanding what we're saying. We need you to help us to figure out what it is that they're saying that they're wanting so that she can write it down clearly in order to express what she's trying to tell them, which is not changing. So the verbiage has to change. But what verbiage are they actually looking for? Can you help us, please? And thank you. So what did we do? We sat down in the office. We dealt with her mortgage counselor, and she was able to get it done. So She was supposed to close last week, Monday. She was able to finally get her clear to close that Monday because of us going down and sitting down in the office. She was able to get her clear to close. And then she actually received her docs, which is what the documents are called. They're called docs. She was able to get her docs sent over to escrow on Tuesday, and then she signed Tuesday evening at 4 o'clock. Because it was so late in the day, but Tuesday she was able to, before her appointment, go and get her her closing funds wired over to the bank, so that was already done. She signed at 4 o'clock, and then on Wednesday, she was able to get her keys to her home. So she will be in her home in a week this coming Wednesday. So she closed, instead of closing on March 5th as scheduled, she closed March 6th. Why did she have such a hard time? I don't know. One of the things that they also, this underwriter, I'm going to call her underwriter because that's assumed that's what her title is. I really don't know what her title is. But this lady also did was called the client and said, well, we need to have the leak addressed before we can issue a clear to close. And we need to have the reinspection for the leak addressed before we can issue the clear to close. Okay, now you guys gonna start seeing a little bit of my personality coming out here and my aggressiveness that I tend to have sometimes. So we're like, that's very interesting. So I wrote an email stating the fact that it's interesting that you want to have a leak addressed and you want to have an reinspection addressed when this property doesn't have a leak. So what does that mean? You're looking at the wrong file. You're mixing your files up, lady. Let's get it together. I didn't say that part, but I did say this is not the file. You're mixing your files up. This is not the file. Because she doesn't have a leak, did not have a leak, there's no leak to be addressed. Therefore, there's no reinspection to be done. The only thing that that the seller had to fix on this house was, the little plastic cover outside for the outlet, that little bubble it kind of sticks out. That's all that the seller had to fix. So we don't have to have a reinspection for that. So by me writing that letter to them in the morning, addressing that, why don't we have a clear to close? Everything else is done in the file. She should have closed on time. But things like that happen. I have to be, trying to be careful as to what I say, because I have to still work with these people. So client C is in her house. She's happy. She's the house she's having it already painted. They should have already painted by now over the weekend. They should have painted. They should have come and cleaned already. A few other personal things that she wanted to have done before she moved in, like having the carpet shampoo, that kind of stuff. So she's already done all of those kinds of things this past weekend. So she should be moving in shortly, but her not moving in right away, that's her personal choice, but she has her keys. She can go over there and spend the night anytime, or, start moving her stuff in anytime that she wants to. So she is in her home. She has closed on her home. And yes, it is still possible. Do you have to deal with some other things along the way? Yes, you do. That's how come you need to have a realtor that is willing to go in there and be like, look, this is what we're going to do, and I'm not moving from here until this action happens. Or you tell me what I need to do to make this action happen. Because your realtor that you choose is very important, that they are on your side and they're going to be in there fighting for you to help you, because it's only so much that your realtor can do. There's only so much that you can do. So with those things, you can't foresee those necessarily. Why does she have to keep writing the same letter over and over and over? I don't know. I cannot answer that question. But with me and her and the loan counselor all working together, we were able to come together, try to figure out some solutions, put things together, and get her into her home. So she is a home owner. Yes, she is. And I'm so happy for her. I'm so excited. So if you have any questions or anything, give me a phone call. You can call me, text me, email me. 702-690-6312. My email is on my home club at gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, share. And for my disclaimer, I do not work for NACA. I have never worked for NACA, but I do believe in the NACA process, even though the NACA process can be long, tedious, frustrating at times, but it's worth it. It's well worth it. So you all have a good day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.